watching 205 Kitchen. I'm your host, Freddie Dillon. And so on this episode, we're going to talk about making cornbread. Now I'm going to go ahead and say this up front. This recipe that I'm giving has been given to me. It's been handed down through our family. It is one of those just so recipes. So we don't have an exact the exact amount of any of these ingredients. I'm going to try to measure it as we go to kind of give you sort of a baseline, but this is a just so I do apologize for that. What you will need: self-rising cornmeal. You're going to need buttermilk, and then something, obviously a bowl to mix it in. Crisco. I know there's a lot of people that may not think this matters. I've noticed that you can tell, in my opinion, you can tell the difference in the crust. So I always use Crisco for this, the shortening. And then an iron skillet. This is an 8-inch iron skillet. So this recipe is for an 8-inch iron skillet. So whatever just so is for this skillet, you may, if you're using a 10-inch skillet, you may want to increase the size. This is the skillet that we used when we made our dressing earlier. So we call this a large skillet, a pan of cornbread. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so step one, we're going to go ahead and get our pan ready. I'm just going to spoon out some Crisco. I've got my little napkin. We're just going to grease this pan down really well with it. This is going to give you an amazing crust. You'll be glad you use Crisco, and make sure you get it covered really well. Because when you take this out of the oven, it's going to, you got to flip it over to get it out. It's kind of like the hoe cake recipe that I made. I think I've got it on my outdoor channel. This is a lot similar to that. It's just you're using cornmeal. So now that we've got it, I call that pretty well greased right there. Try to get some of these lumps out just in case. So now we've got it greased. Be right back. Okay, so right now I've got 3 cups of self-rising cornmeal. So it's 3 cups self-rising cornmeal. We're going to start off with 1 cup of buttermilk. Now if I get this right, it's going to freak my whole family out because this has always been a just so recipe. So let's just see if we can get it just so. Just going to stir it in. I'll be right back. So 3 cups of cornmeal, 1 cup of buttermilk, and we get powder. So we're going to add another cup. And we'll mix that in. Be right back. Okay, so now this is 3 cups of self-rising flour and 2 cups of buttermilk. We're still not there. This is still kind of lumpy, so I'm going to add, if I don't run out of buttermilk, this will be cup number 3 right here. So this is 3 and 3. We'll stir that in. All right, so just so it turns out is 1-to-1 ratio. So for every cup of self-rising cornmeal, it ended up being 1 cup of buttermilk. So I did 3 and 3. This is, I believe this is an 8-inch pan that I've got over here. So I'm just going to make sure everything's mixed in well. There's no other ingredients in here. So the self-rising cornmeal mix has everything in it. And that's the brand I use, Martha White. So we got it stirred in well. We're just going to pour this in. Make sure you scrape it. So for an 8-inch pan, this was perfect. If you're using a 10-inch, I think when I did my hoe cake recipe on my outdoor channel, I think I used a 10-inch pan for that. So you would need to probably add a little bit more to it. Just scraped out, and that is the texture, consistency, and the amount and everything that you need right there. Super easy cornbread recipe. All right, so we're going in the oven at 425 for about 30 minutes. All right, so we're at about 25 minutes. We like our crust a little bit more crusty on here, so you can look at it. I would recommend going in at 20 minutes and taking it out and looking at it. It's kind of what we did. Flipped it over, so we want to give it a few more minutes, so we'll give it 25. See how it's nice and firm here. So we're just going to transfer this over this. Oops, sorry. I'm going to transfer this over to a plate real quick. Using my gloves, so I've actually burned myself. And there we go. That is really, really, really good cornbread. Great crust on it. Listen to, I don't know if you can hear that. On the cross, let's cut into it. Let's cut a piece real quick and just take a look. See. And like I said, if you wanted to do, say, 30 minutes, you could. Just depends on how much crust you want on here. Oops, sorry. But that is your cornbread right there. This is really good. I didn't get a good cut on it though. But anyway, this is what we did for our dressing. This is the exact recipe. Just gonna stick that back there. We're gonna eat it in just a little bit. All right, guys. Thanks for watching 205 Kitchen, and don't forget to like and subscribe.